Sean Belizean wake you up every Monday through Friday on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. That's right, Big D Energy has moved to mornings. Get your morning dose of Neil's tone and Sean's insanity. Weekdays 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Two Detroit sports legends coming together for the best Detroit sports morning show there is. Big D Energy, waking you up weekdays on Detroit's #1 sports network.
What's up, guys? We're at Bourbon Street in New Orleans at the Acme Oyster House. I got an oyster shot. It's vodka and a raw oyster. I'm thirsty, you know? That's good.
All right, I'm in. I'll do it.
You guys all do it for me.
Yeah, I'll do it for you, Mac. He's Darren McCarty. Not one, not two, not three. 4-time Stanley Cup champion. KG, JB, Sean here. Neil down in New Orleans. Mac, you've been down there, right?
Yeah, Thursday morning. Big D! There we go, okay.
There it is.
Big D!
I do not like that CD at all. I don't. I've said it 1,000 times. I do not like it at all. It's too humid. It's just not for me.
For me, it's cramped. It's not a lot of space.
No. It's too voodoo for Sean.
It is too voodoo.
Yeah, a little bit too voodoo.
Like,
Yeah.
Sean's not that's like with
The
all the
mystical guy,
graveyards and all the
Yeah,
all
he's not
that-
into the
that
spirit.
stuff.
Michael Myers screwed my life when I was like a kid. Forget it. I don't want any of that. But
Fair
I'll tell
enough.
you what, if you talk about food,
Supernatural,
there's
yeah.
no better city that I've ever been to for food. Never.
Oh, it's great.
Never. Nothing.
Best Jamaican food of my life in New Orleans.
Everything. They
Yeah.
The Cajun Creole stuff.
to
there
die
was this
for,
place right up. What's the name of the place that serves the beignets?
They have a few, but
Cafe du Monde is the
Yeah,
famous
yep,
one.
yep.
Okay.
That's
This,
where all the vampires go.
yeah.
legitimately, yes. That's what they told me. So I was like, all right, I'm getting out of here by sundown. I'm going to take a pass. But there was this little place right across the way, KG.
Mm-hmm.
The Cajun Creole there was, it was heaven. It was
Yeah.
absolute heaven.
Yeah, they even Cafe Du Monde, because me and my wife tried to go there to get the beignets when we went down there, but they pointed us to another direction, a spot in the hood, a good mom and pop shop that did the beignets. We had to wait an hour and a half to get the beignets because of just how popular it was.
Hour and a half.
But when I tell you it was worth the wait, holy shit, bro! Like we had Philly cheesesteak beignets, we had dessert beignets.
Oh.
It was just, oh my god! I wish I could go back.
All right, we have Darren McCarty here, so I have to ask this question. I've probably asked this guy so many dumb questions in the history of knowing him and everything. Mac, was there a city when you were on the circuit that, above all, you just loved going to? Was there one that stuck out to you?
Well, I think when you're talking about just everything else, when you start talking about food, it was always usually Vancouver.
Okay.
Vancouver is always good, like fish and because of and sushi and stuff like that. Or, yeah. Usually when you ask me those questions, I revert back to nightlife and all that stuff. But no, all I remember is here's how good the food was, or the seafood was in Vancouver. So every pregame meal, right, is a buffet style, right? And you have a salad, pasta, some sort of starch, right? But then thered be steak, chicken, and fish, right? You know this, I know that from walking by. Usually any other time there'd be, 30% meat, 75% chicken, and 5% fish.
Yeah.
When you went out for the salmon in BC, the fish was the first thing gone.
That's
guys would race back from the pregame meal on the first bus, not want to be late because they wanted to make sure they got fish.
No kidding.
Yeah, or whatever. Guys, like make their salad into a salmon salad and stuff like that. Like it. That's the one thing cuisine-wise I remember.
That's what we're going to Seattle next week, and that's what literally. And one of our viewers hit me up, and he was like, "Dude, the seafood out there." So that's next week. All right, nightlife. Since you brought it up, nightlife. Was there one that sticks out?
Well, I mean, you can't really compete with the hoopla of La La Land out in LA and stuff, but I think the one Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Like in Arizona when we go there, because
No
Scotty
kidding.
always liked to go early, so we'd stay outside in Scottsdale and stuff. And Chelly was always hooked up because they had a bar there called Madison's because his buddy he went to college in Wisconsin with.
Yeah.
So it was pretty dialed in. Maybe that was just because like Chelly was there, and Chelly's a godfather, so you're dialed in wherever you go. But I was always a West Coast guy.
Yeah.
Usually East Coast we didn't. We might have went out to eat, but it was more too hustle and bustle. Just so a little bit more relaxed when we went out West Coast.
Notice how we're burying the lead. By the way, we're trying not to talk about it. We're trying really hard not to talk about it. Mac had an up close and personal view of it yesterday.
I'm gonna try to send.
They're back. Come on now. Green tide.
JB that I put it yesterday.
I've never had so much.
But I was sitting there, and first Tigers game, that I've been to this year. I haven't watched it, but I wanted to be there in case for what Tarek Skubal.
Yeah.
Because one thing you just can't not say is that when he took the mound, right, he gave it everything he had. And I know people are going to step back, but he pulled himself in the playoff game into whatever. Like, regardless of whatever else, because obviously with what has come out injuries-wise, that was probably all the shoulder could take because he wasn't being honest. Without that being said, every time he stepped on the mound representing this city, he's given it everything he had. And even last night, you could tell being there that it he really wanted it. He was really happy to get that first strikeout out of the way, battled, but he was dialed in. And when he walked off the field, and even I thought the poignant moment was when it was 5-0, whatever, 7-0, whatever, when they were bringing him out, right? AJ came out, and then they had the conversation, and he left him in. Now, unfortunately, there was a single, and then he brought him out, and then Finnegan gas tanked. But I thought that when he walked out, and you could hear, even when he was announced, like a little smattering of, the pissed off fan base. Like, you can't, like, you're hearing it being disloyal, but it wasn't. It was nice because of the standing ovation that he got and the appreciation. You always have that here. So whatever happens, I think that where are we at? Like, where are we at this table percentage wise right now? That he's going to get traded.
It's
are
skyrocketing.
75%, or are you?
No, I'm near 100. I'm not going to lie.
You are near 100.
I am
so
near
it's
100.
done.
Not after that game.
And I'll tell you, you nailed it.
If body language says anything too,
Yeah.
right? Even before that, the way that he exited and sort of was taking it all in.
Yeah. Did he have that feel? Did it have that feel like it was the last time he might be pitching in the Tiger uniform?
Yeah. It had that feel of him, especially when he left. Like when he was walking out, it seemed a little bit more trying to take it all in.
Yeah.
Mac, it's funny you say that because KG, and I don't want to misrepresent this, so you tell me if I'm misrepresenting this.
Okay.
About 24 hours, we went around the room, and then we did it at the end of the show again, Mac, when Chad Pikinen was here. We went around the room, we asked anybody, do you think he's gone? And you said yes as well, right?
No, I said I think they keep him.
Okay, I said yes. Wasn't it 2 and 2? There were two of us.
Yep.
Yeah, it was us two. Okay,
Yep.
so it was JB and I. And Maz and KG said no. But in fairness, let me say this about both Maz and KG. A lot of it was dependent on what the next 4 games held.
Right.
Fair statement?
And the incompetence of the organization as well.
You got the fact that they blew that game in I don't even know what to say. Like, honestly, I mean, so much has been said about it. We're going to say stuff about it. But for now, let's leave it on the back stove, okay? I think that changed things. I really do. And when a guy like Jeff Passan, and Mac, from your days in hockey, there are certain beat writers you listen to.
So Jeff Passan would be the Adam Schefter?
Yeah,
Fair.
of baseball, absolutely.
Yeah.
Of baseball.
Bob McKenzie back in the day.
Yeah.
The Bob McKenzie in hockey, Wojnarowski. Or
When Passan comes out and says he will be traded.
Right.
Not I think he's going to be
going
traded.
to be.
He's going to be traded. That's when you just give the tip of the cap.
Yeah.
A guy like that doesn't throw something out there. A Sean Belegian would throw something out there. I think this is going to happen. But when a guy speaks in 100%, like there was no, he will be traded.
Yeah.
Okay. That's like, to me, that's like, okay.
the guy who you go to see what's going on. Where's the temperature? He's on the in everywhere. And like you said, his verbiage was, he isn't. I think there wasn't a thought.
No.
It's
Yep.
he knows something to whatever else.
Yeah.
That we don't.
And then you saw all the stuff out there. Like, what was the one? There was one report that said the Dodgers have given the best offer 100%.
He was one of the first people on that yesterday. Like, before he tweeted that he's going to be traded, he was on, I believe, First Take earlier in that day. He named the list of teams that would be in contention for Skubal. It's kind of like a league-wide thought that the Dodgers would probably be the team that gets him, just because they just have a bevy of pieces in their farm system, and they'd probably be willing to give a lot of that away for Terry Skubal. But he also mentioned the Rays, the Brewers, the Braves, the Brewers, the Rays, and the Yankees, I want to say, is one of the teams.
I'm going to be really intrigued to see what the Brewers do. If they answer the bell. If those reports are true out there, that right now as we sit here today, July 30th, okay? Yeah. The Dodgers, 100% was the number that was used, have the best offer. Because this is the Brewers' magic shot, man.
Yeah, it is.
This is their shot. Can you imagine facing the Dodgers facing the Brewers with Miz and Skubal going like that?
That'd be crazy.
Like legit.
I might actually consider them an actual World Series team.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Instead of the cute pinch your little cheek team, all of a sudden, Mac, you sit back and go, okay, so in a potential 7-game series against the Dodgers, you have to go game 1 and 2. You got Skubal and Miz, or Miz and Skubal, and then you go with somebody else. Legitimately on 4 days rest, you could come back with the game 1 starter. Go.
6 and 7. You can go 1 and 2, 6 and 7 in a 7-game series.
Could you imagine that?
That's nasty.
No,
yeah.
and when you think of the Milwaukee Brewers, it almost reminds me like a Star Wars, where you have Darth Vader and the bad guys,
the
going
Emperor,
through space, and then here come the rebels, and they got one shot to blow up the Death Star. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Is this it? Is this when the Brewers take the shot? So I mean, because that's what it is almost, right? Is who can up? It used to be the Yankees, now it's the Dodgers.
Yep.
Right. So. And in that case, in that scenario, that would mean that Milwaukee would have to sweeten the offer a little bit more, and hopefully in return that means that you're going to get somebody that turns into a big league player. Like, what is the return you need? Right? Was it just don't lose them for nothing, or is it like we need this back? Because that hasn't been a really good track record, as I say, thanks Jake Rogers for your services and being such a good dude. And
this organization needs some arms, I would say, because you don't really have any arms in your pipeline as of right now. All of your guys that you had as good arms are now up on the roster or competing
or
for
on
the
IR.
spot. Yeah, or that. So no, I think you need definitely some arms, particularly in the bullpen as well. And we've been screaming for a bat for
really
4 years.
Wait.
Yeah, I know.
Are you
right?
just saying that because you blew a 7-0 lead?
Nah,
Okay.
It's not just that. But it's been years of this now, and same thing with the bat we've been asking for at least 3 years, a right-handed bat at somewhere in your infield. But we'll see what they do.
It's Mac. I'm totally with you when you talk about packages. When you're talking about up and coming guys, I'm a stay in your lane guy. Okay, I don't know the first thing about these guys other than what I read. This isn't like junior hockey. Like, I remember you guys played that alumni game against Team USA, and Mac, this Quinn Hughes kid, he's pretty good. Because I've seen him. Right. I can tell you about him. Hey, this Brady Tkachuk guy, I don't know if you want to mess with that kid. I'm just being honest with you. I don't know. He ain't right, okay? In a good way. He ain't right, okay? Things like that. So I'm not going to sit up here and pontificate about these pieces that I haven't seen, okay? I'll leave that to people that, like our boy Rogelio, okay? Rogelio's so dialed in. So if I have a question, I stay in my lane. I ask Rogelio about these guys. But the interesting thing about this is there are packages that could potentially help the Tigers next year or the year after, but I'm not hearing anything that helped the Tigers in 2026. Right. And that's what bothers me, because you know as well as I do, there are a lot of people out there, shout out to our boy Krug, that literally sit back and think that this team's still going to make some kind of magical run. And they look at all those numbers, well, legitimate, they're only 6 back, they're only 5 back, they're behind 4 teams in the division alone. They're behind 5 teams in the wild card. Guys, Like, look at the last 10. That kind of tells you, okay, the good news is you gained 2 games on Cleveland. The bad news is you lost to this team, this team, and that team. You lost ground to this team. That's the task at hand right now. It's not impossible, but you're going to need a run like you did a couple of years ago. You go 31-13, all bets are off.
No, but do we not forget of the implosion of one team in Minnesota?
Yeah.
That's right. Like, you're only chasing one. I think you bring up the fact is that it doesn't matter what it is. There's so many teams in between you.
Yep.
Right. You got to just put your head down and win. And you don't. There's no luxury of anything else. Of what happened yesterday?
What was the vibe in the park yesterday? Because we went from
it was like. At the end of the game,
yeah. As it started to fall apart.
It was it wasn't that anger. It wasn't anger. It was more like, this is who we are.
Yep.
Like, it's more the acceptance, and hey, at least I got to see Skubal play. Like, they got us in that. They got us in that fan form of, like, they try to get us where it's like we're grateful to watch this losing stuff. Does that make sense? You know what I'm trying to say? Is that, like, so it wasn't as heated and everybody's like, that more sucked. But I think we've seen it so much.
Yeah.
I think it's the understanding, right? Like, it was nice for about a month or the last month from what we started with to be able to say, you know what? All right, we little semblance of a baseball team. Oh, here's a couple, new guys. Oh, look at this flashy guy. Oh, what's this new catcher guy gonna do? Oh, it's a new, and it's the same old
Valencia,
stuff. Then he goes 0 for 6.
Yeah,
and had a couple key spots. But I mean, it's youth, young.
Yeah,
But it's just sort of like everybody's knows deep down. That's what it felt like, Sean. You knew deep down this is what you were. You're just hoping for the best. So dressed up and went out.
And deep down, people don't want to admit that, even if they were to make this miraculous run, like how wildly inconsistent this team is, what are they winning?
That's exactly it.
What are they going to win?
Yep. That's exactly it.
So it's just like, I get it. I know we don't want to give up on this season. Everything that we were, not to say promised, but everything we kind of expected from this season with them going to get Fromber and thinking that, they're going all in. They're actually going to make a push for this thing. It fell apart. And one month of the season has practically taken you out of this thing. I don't know if you can make up the ground. Not saying it's impossible, but I just think at this point you have to start thinking about next season, because at this point it's a lost year.
So KG brings up a good point, right? When we're talking about Scott Harrison, we'll see what he does at the deadline stuff. But does he get a pass because at least they tried to do something with Fromber, with JV, with a little bit, or just it's not enough? It was just too much, because that's what the season turned into. It was more of a facade.
Harris has taken too many L's in my mind.
Yeah, way
in
too
my
many.
mind. I like the frame.
He's got more smartest guy in the room.
Yes, 1,000%.
Absolutely. He gives money to the wrong people.
If we talk about the guys that he's brought in, and Mac, you bring up a point. And here's the crazy thing in our business. Okay, I'm not afraid to say I was wrong about something. And I know some people are allergic to it. Some people in this business are just allergic to it. They think that it ruins their aura or their credit or whatever. I like the Fromber signing. It's been a disaster.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what, folks?
But that's a player, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
You would think he's going to be your ace once.
He's on the hook, though. The ultimate success or failure of the ball club and individuals on the ball club come back to Scott Harris. That's what he signed up for.
Yep.
Legitimately. Like, I get what Mac's saying. I agree with what Mac's saying. I can say I was wrong, but I'm not the guy building the Tigers, okay?
Right.
I'm not the guy that went out. I mean, that you saw, I put out the text yesterday in the group text. The shitstorm of players that he brought into the deadline last year. I mean, absolute shitstorm.
Yeah.
When Kyle Finnegan is your glowing piece, you've got a problem.
And he ain't looking too hot lately,
exactly. So
8 ERA this month.
That's where we're at. Mac, you described it perfectly, because everybody has it. We love our teams, okay? But everybody has that team you just love a little bit more in town, right?
Yep.
It might be the Wings, it might be the Tigers, it might be the Lions. My kid is the Tigers. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts. He was angry, and then it became funny. Yeah. And that, like, literally, he's going, are you kidding me? And you thought that Summers was going to wiggle out of the inning, and he gave up that base hit, and you're going, seriously? Is this where we're at?
Yeah.
And to your point, Mac, about chasing teams, you can do this at home. The Tigers are 5-5. They've gained no ground on Minnesota. They've gained a game on Cleveland. They lost a game, they've gained no ground on Chicago either. Now, when you go to the wild card, this is where it starts to get ugly.
Yep.
You lost 2 games to the Yankees. You lost 2 games to Boston. You lost 3 games to Houston. You haven't gained any ground on Minnesota. You gained a game on Seattle. You haven't gained anything on Baltimore.
Yeah, because
that's where we're at. And by the way, while we're talking about this fantastic run that the Tigers have been on, they're 5-5. Yeah. They haven't won their last 2 series. So this is why I keep saying, guys, I hope you can understand, and some of you have gotten mad, a team like this cannot dig themselves in a 16-game under 500 hole. They can't.
Yeah.
All right? You can't. And summarily, you cannot go 5-5 in your next 10. And you can't drop these series. I mean, you have to stack these wins together, and they're just not doing it, Mac.
Well, it's just I see in the chat at Detroit, DC. I'm taking this face value. Tigers bullpen's blown 21 games this year.
I thought it was like 25 or something.
Okay, it might be more, but okay. How about that? Tigers bullpen's blown over 20 games this year.
Yes,
which that was now. It's sort of the bullpen of the Tigers reminds me of what we saw on the offensive line of the Lions, right? Where it was sort of your bread and butter, something you could count on for the past couple seasons that you would get through, right? And then it dissipated, and then you got to rebuild it. But that as a strength, you have to pay focus to that and get that rebuilt, because it wasn't that you consider the bullpen over the past few years a strength of this team. Now it's not.
No,
I would say last year and everything else,
24.
the way that they maybe I'm skipping a year to whatever, but the way that when AJ pieces things together, when he has a bullpen game, the stuff putting 5-6 guys in, and it worked. Now you do the same sort of thing. It just doesn't work, and it comes down to execution. And yesterday it was just a pitch here, pitch there. There's a couple battles, from the batters, like good pitches, even with like Finnegan or Anderson or whatever like this. But the bottom line is not getting the job done. It's such a fine line.
It was Mac 20. That's when KG. Remember, I made the joke. Bo Brisky woke up in the morning, banged his head, and woke up and thought he was prime Mariano Rivera.
Yeah,
and he went out there every day and was just mowing guys down. And I was going, okay, I'm not gonna make jokes about concussions, but this concussion could stick around a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
Because this guy woke up and thought he was something else. And it all came together, and that was a big part of this 31-13 thing. And Mac, I mean, even if you look at the previous regime, I always say, out of all those runs that the previous regime made, okay, the 1-13 hurts me the most, because that's when the bullpen was kind of solid. Notice I didn't say solid. Right. It was kind of solid. And that was the year. Like, I literally thought, okay, this is the year. Remember, they went out and got the Mexicutioner.
Yeah,
and
the Mexicutioner.
Joaquin Soria.
Yeah.
Remember the Mexicutioner? They went out and got the Mexicutioner.
Dude, that should be a wrestling character.
It should.
It was outstanding.
Mexicutioner.
But legit, and then we obviously know what happened against the Red Sox. But this has been our Achilles heel forever, man. Forever. And this pen is an absolute disaster. I don't know. What was the number that I saw yesterday along the lines of what Detroit DC was saying? The Tigers lead the majors, not the American League, the majors, in blown leads after the 7th inning. Like, come on, man. Come on.
Dude, here's another analogy. It's almost like watching the Wings try to hold a friggin' 1-goal lead, with 10 minutes left in the game. How many did they blow this year? And Detroit DC said, KG, you're right, it is 25.
Yeah, I
right?
thought so.
So don't go to him for stats anymore.
According to Krug, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, we haven't asked for a bat the last 3 years, too. But, they hit 35 runs in the last 7 games. They'll be okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, tell me more about that. Tell me about how they've lived off home runs since June 1st. Like, you got to be real with this team. Like, it's cool if you want to live in Delulu land and think this team can still win the division at the point they are now. But the real adults in the room are going to discuss the future of this fucking team, which they should be worried about right now. Honestly.
When you have to talk about what a team did 2 years ago to give you hope for what a team isn't doing now, that's a losing argument.
Yeah.
And that's exactly where we're at. Well, do you remember what happened 2 years ago? Well, what is it about this team that makes you think they can go on a heater
Let's
like
first go down the roster and how many guys are the same?
Right.
You know, who's gonna do this? Will this guy go on this heater? Will this guy go on this heater? Will they all play above their heads?
You're
Or
hoping
you get
for
the
a lot.
timing of whatever. Like it, and that you look back and you appreciate. But when you look back at the run a few years ago, like it was magical because everything just fell into place when they needed it. The timely hit, right? The timely strike or the strike call before there was the computer. Oh, by the way, might have been the worst challenge by a Baltimore guy on the strike call yesterday when they pulled it up. It was almost in the middle of the zone. Did you see that?
Yeah, dude, that was like, whoa. Jeez.
That was crazy. That was one of Summers' pitches. And like you said, like right there, but can't get that last. So
It looked
close.
too good to be true, man.
By the way, JB just sent us this. Colton Pouncey, always want to give attribution.
Shout out. Friend of the show.
Dan Campbell says third-year offensive lineman Giovanni Manu will be out 12 to 14 weeks.
Oh, it's over.
He had an undisclosed injury that popped up again on day one of camp, was placed yesterday.
Well,
Okay.
That
another third-round
experiment's-
pick in the
That
bucket.
experiment's over.
Yep.
Okay. Tis the season.
Yep.
Tis the season.
Everything you own in the box to the left, Giovanni.
Damn.
We got to get into the Gibbs thing. You know we're going to get into the Gibbs thing, but
I do have video from Dan Campbell
all right.
about Gibbs' absence.
Let's do that. Let's do that in a minute. Let's finish up this Tiger stuff. You guys, I'm not. This is not a bit. You'll know when I'm doing a bit. Okay, I've made it. I'm exhausted by this team. I am.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it. I've felt that way for a while. KG, I know you're on the same boat. I'm exhausted, and you know what? There's that trickle of hope. Because you know what one of my buddies told me yesterday, and I told you guys, I'm in a group chat that I've renamed Delusional.
Yeah.
Okay, and that'll tell you, one of my buddies goes, well, they're going to play the A's, and if we sweep the A's, we're only 4 under. Like, we're only 4 under
How
on
much
Monday.
longer are we gonna keep playing this game?
Are we going to keep playing that game? Are we
Yeah.
really going to keep
Well,
doing
are
that?
we playing the game that if we forget the rest of the league, that if you get to 500, like you win? Is that
Right.
like that?
Yeah,
That's
right. That's what it seems
Somebody's
like.
got to bet.
Thank
Somebody's
you.
got to bet that the Tigers got to finish 500. That's all that
Holy
matters.
Mac,
Yeah.
gosh damn, Mac, I've said that. You can ask KG. I've said it from stop looking at how many games behind, okay?
Yes.
How many wins will get you into the playoffs? And I'm being really nice when I say 84 might get you in.
I know.
I don't think it will,
Yeah.
but for the sake
but
of the
that's-
argument.
right? For sake of the argument, and go low point, because where you're at, what are you striving for? Can you get to 84?
Yeah.
And then what do you have to go, like?
33 and 20 the rest of the way. You have to go 33 and 20 for them to get to 84 wins, and a number that, as we said, I personally don't think it'll be enough.
It'll be 79 and 83.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I
around
think
that.
so too.
Yep.
Yep. I think just under 500. Guys, under 500 teams don't get in. All right?
Yeah.
Not in a 162 game schedule. They just
Nope.
don't. It doesn't
don't.
it doesn't work that way. You know what? If you talk about the strike year, yeah, something like that. If you talk about a COVID year, yeah, but in a full slate, teams under 500 don't get in. So
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
like
Maybe
going-
because
that's like
Darren
going
said
nine
it. Maybe it'll
9
sit
and
there.
8, and this is the NFC South.
Right.
Take them out of it
Yeah.
because they can do that because they suck.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's like going 9 and 8 in the 17 game, you're out. You're sniffing out of the playoffs.
And if somebody listen, Mac, to take that to its logical
was
conclusion,
football.
if somebody says, "Well, the Central sucks," you have to leapfrog 4 teams in the Central.
Yeah.
This is where we're at right now.
Yeah.
You know, is it possible that hell, let's even use what you just said, 79 and 83 team wins the division? It's possible, but you have to leapfrog 4 other teams right now, man. Okay, sure. I don't believe it, by the way. One of those teams, a cream will rise to the top. I mean, if you're Chicago last night, they came back in the game last night. All of a sudden, you're in a crazy buy mode, aren't you?
Yeah, you would think.
And
Some of these teams are about to get better at the deadline. Some of them. So
I think the interesting watch, right? Because like Milwaukee, it reminds me more that like that's the interesting one. Are they going to pull the trigger, and what will they do? Because they have to decide whether they're going to push all their chips in or not, right? Like pretty much to any of the moves that are made, whereas the Yankees just stockpile.
Yeah,
you know.
They do. Hey, we've talked. They did that one year with Sabathia.
Yeah,
like,
they did.
Why is Milwaukee grabbing Sabathia? There's no way he's gonna. Oh, I see what you did, you sly dog.
Right.
You're trying to use him the rest of the way to give you a little bump. And it's the same thing. If they went out and put together some monster offer that even the Dodgers said we cannot do that. Okay.
Yeah.
You know exactly what the Brewers are doing. They're doing exactly what Mac just said. Okay, this is our window. Right here, right now is our window. We feel really good with Miz and Skubal starting 2 games to start that. How's that? You're staring at an 0-2 hole.
If you're a hitter.
Yeah, that's tough.
On the other team, right? It's like, please.
Nasty, man.
Get in the bullpen.
You like seriously? I mean, think about. Let's pick a team from the National League. The Cubs. Cubs are having a cute little season. Congratulations, you got in. Now you get to face Mize and Skubal.
Yeah.
Game 1 and 2. Oh, okay.
Right.
Not Mize.
I know
Miz.
Miz,
okay. Yeah. Mize is the other one.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. We've been talking about it on this show for a while. What are you gonna do with Casey Mize?
People have brought him up, but not in terms of trading, though.
No, what are you going to do?
The fact that, he's owed a contract at the end of the season. Well, yeah. So I don't know what they're doing with that.
Tell me right now that there isn't a contending team that wouldn't love Casey Mize.
Oh, yeah. I think we have a lot of pieces that contending teams would like right now. I think Gleyber Torres should be on the block if you trade Skubal. I think Mize should be on the block if you trade Skubal. If you sell Skubal, that's fine. I just want you to go full-fledged and get as much as you can. But I doubt they'll do that because if they do trade Skubal, they'll still try to compete. So they may keep Mize to the end of the year and then just let him walk for nothing.
Is it fair to say that only McGonigal and Dingler are safe?
Yes.
I would, yes.
Riley Green, you can have him too.
Yes.
You could. They're not going to sign him. So, Torque. Yeah.
What if somebody else is looking in? Like, those aren't hard conversations. I would put a hard stop on McGonigal and Dingler.
That's it.
According to Emily Walden, per a source, the Tigers are calling up Max Clark.
Okay.
I'm stunned at that. My jaw, like I'm holding my jaw in place to keep it from that. That isn't what they do. Not this close to. We're not going to burn a year.
Is it look over here?
Yeah.
Look over here.
That tells me it might be some movement for sure. Because
100%, that's what it is. To do that, if that's imminent, let's play a game of pretend.
So we thought they would wait till September.
I'll jump exactly because then you don't burn the year.
Yeah,
that's how this franchise operates. Like we'll call them up September 1st. We're not going to burn a year.
Yeah.
If you call them up July 30th, you're burning a year.
You are.
Mac, that goes to what you're saying. If you're doing something like that, that tells me that this and maybe that are happening. That's what that tells me.
That's what it seems like. Where would he play? Max Clark?
Wow. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's a no disrespect. I never want to disrespect anybody who reports. It's just not my cup of tea. That one I'm going to take a wait and see on because it's not how they've operated in the past. You know what I mean? It's not how they've operated. Can I get back to Mize for a second? So are you going to sign Casey Mize for $20 million next year? That's a question I have for the Tigers.
To be honest,
that's
I don't know if
they're
I would
telling you, right?
If you don't move them,
that's what they're telling you.
That's
that they can commit to that. And
that's
I'm not against it
because with Javi back,
I'm not against it.
Well, Javi back up and playing
durability,
center,
bro.
Do they put Javi back at short then? Like with Max Clark coming up? I don't know.
I would think so.
Yeah. Okay.
If that comes to fruition, we could see a few movements.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me yesterday, and it was a great, like, seriously, I hope you know I'm not, like, angry at or anything. I'm not one of those guys that goes around angry all the time and all that. But somebody said, now, wait a minute, you're not a big Scott Harris guy, but you trust him to move Tarek Skubal? And you know what I say to that? No, I don't trust him to move Tarek Skubal. But I'll take my chances that 2 or 3 or 4, whatever the package entails, Mac, I'll take my chances that 2 or 3 or 4 prospects from another team are going to give me more eventually than a comp pick will.
Yeah.
Right? If I got one over here in the in the comp pick, okay, and I got 2 or 3 or 4 of somebody else's prospects, I'm going to take the bigger number to increase my chances.
Yeah.
Right? Because the comp pick is a complete unknown. You don't know how the draft is going to fall. It's an 18-year-old kid. That is a complete unknown. All right? But if you, JB, he's a smooth-hitting third baseman. This KG guy, I think this is going to be your answer to 6, 7, 8, 9. He's in that range. That's what Mac, I'm going to do this for you on purpose. This is another catcher that you can put in the system that maybe, I did that on purpose, that maybe Darren McCarty isn't ready to be up to the big club in a year or two, but he is going to be a solid number 2 behind Dingler. And when Dingler eventually wants to be paid, this could be the guy that you could ease right in there. Because that's how we operate, right? That's how we operate.
And he will charge the mound if necessary. So
Ooh, first one out of the dugout.
right.
Absolutely.
Could you imagine that?
Hey, yeah.
No, sir. No, I'm fine. Here. I go underhand to him, whatever you need, man. All right, we'll get into some Lions stuff, the Jahmyr Gibbs stuff, the Manu stuff, whatever.
Damn. R.I.P. man.
Whatever. JB, what you got with the super chats?
Shout out to everyone sending in super chats. We do have a bunch here. Shout out to Tev Sauce. He's back, everybody. Day 39.
My dog.
That dork spin rate Scotty is a less damn GM who cannot find a bullpen arm to save his life. Can't wait for him to ruin my team further with this Skubal fiasco onto the Lions season.
Keep preaching the good word.
Attaboy, Sauce. Attaboy.
Yeah, man. We
Ted,
missed
I
you
covered
yesterday.
for you yesterday. You weren't in yesterday, but I covered for you. All right.
Yeah, we missed you, man.
Shout out Tev Sauce. He also sent in another one too, $5 as well. Said, I went to the dentist. It was 7-0. I got 2 fillings, came out, and they were tied. Put me back in the chair. More fun than watching that game.
No, seriously.
Jeez.
The anesthesia hit better than the Tigers right now. I'm telling you. That shit.
Man, oh man. D-Mac already said this. Shout out to Detroit DC with the $2. Bullpen, 25 blown leads, only 21 saves. And $5 from Michael Weary. He sends in. He said, I hate to say this, but stick a fork in the Tigers. We're done.
Damn. The OG said it. You know it's real, man. I know he was keeping
know.
keeping hope alive. Shout out Michael
Keeping
Weary,
the
man.
faith, but this did not work out.
I'm not telling people how to root and everything. I have one of those guys that says, we all have that friend.
Yeah,
Until we're officially eliminated, I'm not giving up hope.
Which is fair.
And his quote is, all I need is a chip and a chair.
Oh.
Okay? I'm looking at some of the stacks. I'm looking at some of the stacks at the table right now, bro.
Yeah, man.
Good luck.
All I need is a chip in a chair.
Good luck. Anything else, JB?
No,
You're
that's
right.
it. Let's hear from Yaldo, Amnesia, and Planet Fitness.
Boy, we have to really load it up.
Oh,
Can we
yeah.
talk about
Yeah.
the legendary Yaldo Eye Center? We've been talking about Yaldo Eye Center. You've heard about them for over 30 years. They've done over 100,000 procedures. Stop. Right there tells you all you need to know. Obviously, they're doing something right to be around that long to serve that many people. The LASIK surgery is completely painless. It just takes 8 minutes, and the recovery is so fast, most patients are seeing 20/20 the very next day. Now, they have a great deal going on right now, and think of it as an investment, okay? $16.99 per eye they're going to hook you up. Now, you compare that to the amount of eye care that you are going to spend, whether it be trips to the doctor, whether it be glasses, contacts, whatever. They're going to take that out of the equation, man. $16.99 per eye. Wake up with clear vision. Book your consultation with the legendary Yaldo Eye Center today at yaldoeyecenter.com/1699.
You know what the best part is, too? Go in for the consultation to see where you're at and what your options are, because there's LASIK, there's also the implants and stuff. I sat in that chair, and they put the vision to what it's supposed to be, and I thought I was, I can't see close, but I can see far. Whoa. It's like watching It's like watching the boob tube back in the day, compared to watching like the 4K now. Big
difference.
you, it's one thing that I'm seriously looking into. But go there. The consultation's free, and Dr. Aldo, what a great guy.
Yeah.
You learn more about the eyeball in that visit than anything else. So yeah, shout out Dr. Aldo.
Yeah.
All right, where are we going, JB?
Amnesia and DMAC, you got Planet Fitness.
Yeah, vision so good you see the wrinkles on that. But anyway, Amnesia is proud to be available at all of the top dispensaries across the state of Michigan with multiple products for adults 21 and up, and their newest launch is the Switch. It's a 2-gram dual chamber disposable featuring liquid diamonds. How do you get diamonds in the liquid form? That's crazy. But with 2 chambers and 2 different flavor profiles, you can enjoy the left, you can enjoy the right, or bring them all together in the middle and enjoy both at the same damn time. But discover your new favorite with the Switch by Amnesia.
And DMAC, Planet Fitness.
Absolutely, you know it, you love it. Over 60 locations throughout Metro Detroit, so you're close to you no matter where you live. Planet Fitness High School Summer Pass, back and live until August 31st, so just over a month left. Teens 14 to 19 can work out in a Planet Fitness for free all summer long. Register online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness is always making improvements. It's totally remodeled the Shelby Plaza location on 23 Mile Road in Shelby Township in Chesterfield. So check that one out. Check out any local Planet Fitness today.
Experience summer in Detroit with pro soccer at Keyworth Stadium. Every Detroit City FC match brings a new reason to show up early and stay late. Tickets available now at deadcityfc.com.
Thrive Energy pouches give me the energy and clarity to find and beat the shit out of every opportunity that shows its face.
Live and direct, I'm back on set action. Create the wave, we cannonball splash 'em. Mic cord swinging, get your head chopped. Point blank, dead stop. 16 bars in a headlock.
Thrive Energy pouches are for the people who actually want to win, not for the crybabies out there who are happy with a participation award. There's 0 sugar, so give Thrive a try.
Some days call for light, others lean bold. What about everything in between? All Day IPA, the easy choice for every day. Citrusy, crisp, refreshing. Flavor you can float with. Light on the hops, big on refreshment. 1's great. 2, even better. Brewed with you in mind. No shortcuts, no fuss. Big on flavor, never too much. All Day IPA. Hop into easy.
The next generation of Detroit sports media is here. Crunch Time is back on Woodward Sports. Join Jeff Iafrate and Booner Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Taking Detroit sports coverage to the next level with massive interviews, viral moments, and the best live reactions. Get ready, Detroit. The young guns are taking over. Crunch Time on Woodward Sports.
Have you guys discovered Water Hazard yet? It's the first canned vodka cocktail from Founders. True story. We were up in Sheboygan last weekend. We were pounding them down. It's that good. Vodka base, 5% ABV. Best served over ice with a slice. They think lemon preferably. Give me that stuff straight. It's that good. It legit is. You know you can get $5 cans at any Art and Jake's location in Michigan on Mondays, Thursdays, today's a Thursday, and Sunday. Please drink responsibly. If you haven't tried it yet, that stuff is legit. Water Hazard.
And Art and Jake's.
Absolutely. Summer nights, cold drinks, and Tigers baseball. Yeah. Woodward Sports is heading to Art and Jake's in Shelby Township for Detroit Tigers watch party. Yeah, all of you still believe. Or some of you that don't. Maybe you get to see Max Clark play. Who knows? Come hang out with the crew as we will be live. No, we won't. They already did it.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, Art
Art
and Jake's. This is how you do this. How you take care of this.
There we go.
We all know Art and Jake's is phenomenal. I always get the Cantina Bowl when we go there, and the sick dessert. What do you guys get? Anything good? Do you have favorites at Art and Jake's? Because the consistency is what matters. Go watch the games. There's tons of TVs, friendly as hell. There's one near you. get to one. We're gonna have a live party, watch party there, or something. But you can't go July 22nd because it's already gone. So we'll see you at the next Art and Jake's.
Maz, I'm a creature of habit. I'm going to answer your question. I love their corned beef sandwich. I do. I love that's a legit corned beef sandwich.
They had corned beef.
I love their corned beef sandwich. But I always tell myself, it's like you go to your favorite spot, right? And like you know what you want. The menu's so huge. I got to try this. I got to try that. I got to try that. And I never do. Like, no, it's.
Yeah.
I know where I'm going. I'm going. If my closer works, why am I going to move from my closer? If we had a closer in this town,
I know, right?
If my closer worked, I'm going with my closer. He's 30 of 30. Okay, I'm good with that. Yeah, Art and Jake's is legit.
It's amazing.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, this Jahmyr Gibbs thing. Much ado about nothing, right?
I would say so.
Matt, anybody?
It's a hold in.
Yeah,
I think
hold
so.
in, yeah, 'cause
No,
he
no,
was at
that's
the
what
facility.
they announced
Yes.
it as. So he reported, and he's just not.
He's just not practicing.
Yeah.
They'll get it figured out.
They will.
I'm not. Are you worried? Where you were?
Zero.
Yeah.
Like I can't even say 1%. Like, is there? It's logical. It is. It's logical. I mean, if you see Bijan doing the same thing right now, okay? I mean, you have the two guys. I don't know is this a case what you sign first? No, you sign first. You sign. No, you sign first. Is that dynamic going on? I don't know.
Or is it the case, yo, bro, what are they offering you? Okay,
Exactly.
Where are you at, bro? Okay, I'm going to come back with this.
Yep.
You know, which is smart because this is the window where the player has a little bit of power.
Yeah.
More power than he'll ever have.
That's
especially in this position. And sort of we see it in hockey right now where the salary's getting sort of revamped for top guys making like Celebrini $18 million. Like that, you ever thought?
Yes.
And it went boom, boom, boom. Do you think we get here? Because it's turning into, it's different. So with this, and Gibbs knows going in, look at all the prognostication of, you know, could be offensive player of the year. You know, those Atlanta and Detroit are going to run through those two guys. So button them up right now. And I think that what the Fords or Sheila Ford Hemp and everything it has shown to their guys, the loyalty. You know, that it's sort of opposite of what we see, you know, going on with the Tigers.
Yeah. Boy, you bring up such a great point, Mac. On one hand, it's great to see some of these contracts exploding. On the other hand, what does that do to the rank and file guys?
Yeah.
What does that do to the Darren McCartys?
Well, I mean, you would hope that it
I would hope.
you would hope it raises up, but that's when, so it will not raise because they're giving money and then they're going to cut it down here
got
until you have time.
Yep.
So they got to save it somewhere.
Yep. That's and that's the interesting thing about it. So, Mac, I think you're barking up the right tree. I'm not saying that they're on the phone with each other or texting each other, but this is a case. I mean, how many times do we talk about it with quarterbacks, okay? You wait for the guy to set the market.
Right.
Whoever signs first, Jahmyr, the market is set right now with Saquon.
Yeah.
Fair? Okay. This contract, whether it goes to Bijan, whether it goes to Gibbs, it's probably going to reset the market. Fair statement?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. So if it resets the market, then what I do, if I sign first, KG, I would hope that you would go, okay, I see what he saw. That's my starting point.
Yeah, of course.
That's
just basic negotiation.
That's exactly what it is, and that's I'm always amazed that people don't like get that, especially about the quarterbacks in the NFL, because in my mind, it's not that long ago because I was working on the Lions Network at the time. People were losing their minds that there was a small window that Matthew Stafford was the highest paid quarterback.
I lived in that era. I
Okay, and people lost their minds, and I can't. Okay, if Derek Carr resets the market, okay, what do you think Matthew Stafford's going to do? And if Matthew Stafford resets the market, what do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to do? And that's exactly how it works, and that's exactly how it worked out. So the same thing can be happening, and somewhere I know Joik Bell is at the same time smiling and pouting because running backs are getting their due, and it just so happens it wasn't during his era.
No.
All of a sudden there's a premium on running backs again.
If that's the case, I'm over here pouting too.
Yeah, you should be.
You know, Jesus.
No, real shit.
You need me to cry?
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, like, you need some real tears?
We're
Different time.
Yeah.
And for anybody who's like me that had to look up to see, do Gibbs and Bijan have the same agent? They don't.
They don't.
Bijan's got Clutch Sports,
Yep.
and Gibbs has Todd France, but I'm sure there's communication because there has to be. Where's the? Think about it logically. Even if you don't have the client, the agents have to be in the same ballpark or conversation because that's the only way they can fight against the mega power.
Yep.
Right in the league. So, is there an expectation of it getting done? I think it gets done sooner than later.
I do too.
I do too.
I do too. I know there are a few people out there. I mean, you tell me in the chat. There are a few people out there that say you can't invest that into a running back, especially a couple of years in. But the numbers are real small.
I think you have to.
I
think
you
that
have
in this
to.
day and age, because he's not like the true. Like this is your weapon, and when you're like Bijan's more, I would say, a running back than what Gibbs is. And so it's more or less you're paying him as a out of the backfield receiver to be able to do that. I think the game's evolving into this guy, right? And they've realized as the running backs is they need the upfront money and get paid now because of their shelf life.
Yep.
Right? So it's not that duration, maybe that's the quarterback getting into your second and third contract. No, this is like right away I need it because this is the window of when, because of durability, because of how many touches and what they're going to do. And the lifespan to right now of getting paid and getting overused, what has he got? 3 years?
I'm never going to, Mac, true story, when Joik went and signed with the Bears, I literally, this would be like you signing with the Bruins. If you went and signed with the Bruins, Mac's dead to me. You're dead. As long as you're a Boston Bruin, you're dead to me. I don't want anything to do with you. And that's when Joik Bell goes and signs with the Bears, like I sent him a text, I go, congratulations, I'm glad you got your bag. You're dead to me now. And he's like, oh, come on, man, don't do me like that. We've known each other. And I go, you're a Bear. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, once you're not a Bear, oh, hey, Joik, how you doing? Let's not talk about the last couple of years you were a Bear or whatever. I mean, that doesn't
Just forget
exist.
that,
I'm going to
forget that ever happened.
I'm going to pretend it didn't happen and things like that. But how do you begrudge a guy for getting his bag? You can't. And Mac, I think the one thing to me is now Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes has been Beyonce. Let me upgrade you with legitimately with his running backs.
Look at you, 9.5.
DeAndre Swift,
pulled a Neal,
Jahmyr Gibbs, right? And all the 1Bs, he's shown us time and time again he's going to upgrade those guys.
Yeah.
Okay, he has. I mean, Monty, we saw the writing on the wall. A lot of us didn't want to see it. I was one of those guys. We didn't want to see it. That's kind of been his MO.
Jamal Williams, he got him out of town.
Exactly. As a couple, and everybody lost their shit. I mean, what are you doing? Look how many touchdowns he scored.
Record.
Yeah, exactly. He has shown that he's an upgrade guy. After a couple of years, exactly to your point, it's time to go younger. It's time to go younger. Maybe cheaper, okay? I think that mold is broken with Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
I do not think for a second that is the long-term plan. Well, I guess we'll just take a running back next year. I don't think that's in the cards at all.
No, I think that right now he is thinking and as where are the accessories for him. I need accessories for him. He's my guy. I need a Pacheco. There's an accessory. He's the main guy, and usually he was upgrading the main guy.
Yeah.
Now he's got his star. And I think he feels that way in a bunch of different positions.
Yeah.
Right? When you look at that's what you have. So that's what we're building on. And I think we can all agree give him his money.
Yeah.
We give everybody else. Where you talking? Where the pay structure is? It's not like it's not there, and it's not like we're talking about a defensive tack or a defensive lineman or anything like that. Where you're talking like 10s and 20s and 30s and $40 million. We're talking about what is it? An upgrade about 5?
Yeah.
Easy. Yeah, easy. This is the difficult part because and I remember all of us while
what
we
is it? Is it what he has to what he's asking? And you know what? He's just coming up early on his deal. Right?
100%.
Reschedule because he knows what act we're going into. We're going into this is another act. Right, of whatever the story for this group is.
Yeah. I remember a lot of people, I go back to when Saquon was drafted. Do you know what a lot of people didn't like that pick for one reason? They said by the time the Giants are good, there's going to be so much mileage on this guy.
Yeah.
And then, okay, you're good. You have this stud running back, and he's either going to A, want a big payday, or B, the wear and tear is going to catch up to him. Now, Saquon showed a couple cracks last year. In fairness, he did.
Yeah.
I'm not saying diminishing value.
Yeah, the Eagles' offense as a whole.
Yeah, 100. And he didn't look like the Saquon of years gone by. But you know what came to fruition? Somebody else was going to give him the money that the Giants didn't. It was the Eagles that did it.
Yeah.
All right?
And it worked because he got to a Super Bowl.
And Jahmyr Gibbs is younger than Saquon was at that point.
Yes.
Jahmyr Gibbs is younger than Saquon at that point. So, to me, this is a no-brainer.
Less wear and tear as well.
But there are a few people out there that are saying you can't do this. But this goes back to what we all talked about a couple of years ago, okay? It looks good we have this young core. It's fantastic. But you know what happens with a young core? All of a sudden, the paydays come in.
Yeah.
And Hutch is going to raise his hand and go, hey, I think I'm due. And then Amon-Ra is going to come in. Hey, I think it's my turn. And so now we're systematically going down that young core that we celebrated a couple of years ago, that we built around a couple of years ago. Well, now the building around them is going to be a little bit more arduous because you're not going to have as much space. Because suddenly you have $15 million. You have $30 million. You have. So we're at that interesting point right now where, I hate to say it again, Brad does have to find some of those value guys.
Yeah.
Brad does have, you know,
it's
you have
his
to.
philosophy, man.
You have to.
He
You
wants
have
to
hit
pay
on 'em.
everybody. Somehow, some way, he's going to pay everybody.
Well,
I don't know how he's going to do it, but he's determined to do it.
Well, you look at the two staples in the league right now, the Rams and the Eagles.
Yep.
And Roseman and Snead, and they do it similarly but differently. So how are you going to get involved? Because they get themselves in the hunt.
Yeah, they do.
Right? So we got to get in the hunt. But Sean, this window to everything else, right, is already starting to close for this group. Like, this is the imperativeness.
Whether we want to admit it or not.
Oh,
No, we didn't.
right.
We never want to admit
Yeah.
it because, you know, days go long and years go short.
Mac,
You know,
this
like,
is where.
I mean, it's like, what are we in? What's this, Penny Sewell's fifth year? or
Yeah,
sixth?
the fourth. Yeah.
Fourth?
No, fifth. Yeah. you're
21.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
21. Yep, fifth
21.
Like,
year. Yeesh.
Yeah.
The young pups is vets now.
Mac, I let this creep into my mind a couple weeks ago, and I confessed this to Neil. And then Neil legitimately said to me, gosh damn it, why did you bring that up to me? Because I'm not saying I'm there yet, but the little voices that live inside of my head, it's basically my dad in 1 year.
In my head.
1,000. It's basically my dad in 1 year and my grandpa in the other ear are going, it's happening again. It's happening again. They are. This is 91. We made the run to the NFC Championship, and everything was going to be good. And then 92, it was just a down year. Don't worry about it. Aha, see what happened in 93? We won the division, and we're hosting a playoff game. And we lost in said playoff game in heartbreaking manner. But we'll be back in 94. We still have the best running back in the league. Yeah. And then we got knocked off by our arch nemesis at the time again. But now 95, we're the hottest team in the league, and everybody's talking about we are the favorites in the NFC. And then we got beat by 780 in Philadelphia. It's like that. I'm kind of in that. I'm in that point. My dad's going. And my grandpa, he's kind of the nicer guy going, Sean, it's happening again. Just prepare yourself for it. And I don't want to believe it's happening again.
So how thick's the smoke? Because what you're telling me is that you just
little bit.
That aroma,
little bit.
That's got your attention, right?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. And
it's like, I don't know if something's burnt. Somebody's burning a fire. Somebody's having barbecue. There's a house on fire, but there's something in the air. Those gosh darn Canadians.
The further,
Yeah, I know, right?
the further we get away, from 2023, the deeper that smoke's going to get. The further we get away from 2023 and going to the NFC title and being that close and all of that, and you guys, we haven't come close to that. When you're talking about postseason, okay, if you want to put 15-2 out there, you can. I'm not saying you can't. If you want to put 15-2 out there, you can do that. I graduated on that day. I know I did, and KG, I know you did. I graduated on that day. The regular season, of course, it's still important, okay? But my ultimate success or failure of the Detroit Lions would be, can you take that next step?
Yeah.
And they haven't come close.
They haven't.
And we're in another year right now where, let's face it, even if you're a diehard, the biggest diehard, can you say right now, today, July 30th?
Yep.
The Detroit Lions are the favorite in the NFC and therefore the favorite in the NFL. I don't even think a diehard could say that right now.
Can't do it.
There's if this could happen or that could happen. You know, Maz, the sun is always shining in Maz's world.
To your point, I think that people were more willing to bet that last year.
Yeah.
Or the year before than they are this year.
Yep.
Because like you said, it's got some similarities.
We're a really good team.
Yeah.
I believe that. I don't want anybody. This isn't the Tigers, okay?
Yeah.
We're the St. Louis Blues or Chicago Blackhawks in the 90s.
Poor guy. Damn Blues.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
They got their chip.
Yeah. Eventually.
Right.
Yeah, no, I mean,
That's
hey,
all I want. Can you promise me eventually I'll get one?
Both fan bases, you're welcome. You know, I retired, so you can win.
That is a fact. That is a fact.
All right, we are way late. I'm sorry, JB. That is 1,000% on me.
You're
Any
good.
super chats we can get to?
There are. Do we want to hear from Dan Campbell before we hit up these super chats?
Oh, yeah. Let's hear from the coach.
No, listen, I'll just leave it at this. You guys know how I feel, how we feel about Gibbs, and what the team feels about him. And I'll leave it at that. Listen, all the other stuff, my job is to coach who's out there right now. And I love the kid, but I got a team to coach right now. And listen, whatever all this at some point here, it'll get done. It's gonna get done. I'm not even sweating it. So,
What's he supposed to say?
Yeah.
I got a team to coach.
It's pretty
How many
standard.
different ways can you say, okay, see those guys? Yeah, I'm worried about that. Love the guy, all that, blah, 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 blah. What else is he supposed to
And
say?
the Lions knew. They were expecting this. So.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, JB, what you got?
All right. Shout out to everyone sending in super chats once again. Tab Sauce back at it.
Shout out.
Sending us $5. He said, I sent 2 super chats yesterday. They were both missed, unfortunately, so the streak continues. I know some of the chat members saw it, so shout out to him once again.
Shout out to him, man. Sorry about
I'm
that.
sorry if we missed it, man, but I covered your ass. I did. I gave you a shout out. I hope you heard it.
Oh, definitely, for sure. Detroit, DC, $2. Mass greater than that booger guy from Crotch Time.
Shit, right. Day question mark.
Full-time mass. Day question mark still.
Hey,
How many times?
shout out Detroit, DC, man. That's my guy, man. Fuck with him.
And finally, one more from our guy, Freddie Felt. Shout out, sending in $4.99.
Freddie!
Said I once got hired in draft nuts and ate not 1 but 2 barbecue chicken pizzas at Art and Jake's. Shout out Art and Jake's, Sean, and the baddest MFer in the 313, Mr. D-Mac himself.
Damn right.
Appreciate you, man.
Fat Freddy.
Yep. Art and Jake's does have great pizza, by the way.
They do.
I did try
Yeah,
that.
dude.
You must have been
It's
smoking
so
on
good.
that D-Mac brand, bro.
Oh yeah, that legacy pack, man.
You know what?
They
Do you
know what
remember?
it is.
Do you remember the home opener against the Rams? The night game. I cruised with a bunch of my buddies after we did the
Is that when
pregame
we
show.
were mean to Kelly Stafford's kids?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
we
booed
booed the
them.
children,
We booed
yeah.
them immensely.
Yeah.
Specifically them.
Yep.
You bastard.
What she doesn't know is there
Especially
was
the newborn.
we literally had a meeting and beforehand, and we knew exactly what we were going to do. It was like an
Yeah.
invasion. But that night I went there, and you know how you're sitting at the table, kind of the community stuff. That pizza's legit.
Oh, yeah.
It is. That's a good pie. That's a damn good pie. All right, JB, where do you want to go?
Let's hear from Mortgage Pros and All Day IPA. So,
Well, let me tell you
D-Mac and
about
Sean.
Mortgage Pros. Looking for a career upgrade? Check out Mortgage Pros, the #1 mortgage broker to work for in the state of Michigan. We saw their incredible company culture firsthand at their annual block party. Their team truly loves what they do, and it shows. With 4.9 stars on Google and over 4,000 reviews, their reputation speaks for itself. So if you're looking for a new job, give Mortgage Pros in Troy a call today. 248-416-1361. Mortgage Pros. Let the pros handle it.
Find Founders All Day IPA. I cannot believe it's been 15 years. You know what happens over the course of 15 years? You earn the title legendary, and they definitely have. It's citrusy, crisp, and refreshing with a perfectly balanced taste. 4.7%. It's built to go the distance, the entire game, the entire night. It's absolutely legit. Hey, did you know it's Thursday and you can get $5 shorts at any Art and Jake's location in Michigan on Monday, Thursday, and Sunday? Founders All Day IPA. Please drink responsibly.
Dan Campbell is in redemption mode.
No, make no mistake. It's not revenge he's after. It's a reckoning.
And Woodward Sports is here to cheer on the Detroit Lions every snap. Don't miss a moment of Detroit Lions coverage. Follow Woodward Sports on all social media platforms now.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
You're building a whole combat sports enterprise in the heart of it in Detroit, and that's what I think is the coolest.
I think with opportunity, right? Like you said, maybe you like to punch people in the face for real, and you know, you want to be a boxer, and you have an option there. Maybe you don't like getting punched in the face, and you want to make, you know, you like the theatricals and the storylines, and so you have an avenue here. Maybe you start at one and then want to change to the other. I don't care. I just want you in the building and know that you have some place to go to explore that. Just having the ability to, what do you want to do and how do you want to do it to the best of your ability? And, you know, it all starts with the kids.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
A shout out to Loom. They are introducing the new Buzzin' Energy from Loom. I just had one of those last night. It's the same smooth THC buzz you love, now paired with a clean boost of caffeine from green tea extracts. Made with real fruit juice, no artificial sweeteners, Buzzin' Energy is bold in flavor, light in calories, and built for those long summer days. You're going to need them if you're still out there watching the Tigers. I'm just letting you know right now. It's not pretty. Try it in refreshing peach and the raspberry lemonade. Crack a can, catch a buzz, keep the good vibes going. Available now at 40 Loom locations across Michigan, and learn more at loom.com.
You know, the good thing about no Tigers last night is I actually went to bed a little earlier. Like, for me, that's insane because there's always a game on. But you still need the pick-me-up in the morning. And you dippers, you already know this right now. You're not going to get that energy from that can full of sugar, okay? You know what you need to do? You need to get yourself Thrive Energy pouches. It's not your daddy's dip. Great flavors. The wintergreen, the cinnamon, and I say it all the time, the peachy citrus is unbelievable. 300 milligrams of clean, smart caffeine, including alpha GPC and L-theanine. No jitters, no sugar crash, zero bloating. Go to dipstop.com. That's the best way to get it, in my humble opinion. Why? You can take 15% off your order simply by using promo code WSN. You can get it the old-fashioned way as well at all Market Fresh and Market Square locations. Thrive is clean energy, zero distractions. This stuff effing works. All right, welcome back in. Big D Energy, Darren McCarty, KG, JB, Sean Belegian. We're all here. A little more from Dan Campbell before I ask everybody out there, not just the guys in the room, everybody out there a question about our fine general manager. And I still say fine, KG.
All right.
I still say fine.
All right, just checking.
And that's not the sarcastic fine.
I know. I can tell the difference.
All right, here's Dan Campbell.
You know, something you kind of asked him to do in terms of taking the next step, just being better about his his conditioning during the offseason?
No, really proud of him. Really proud of him. He's a man of his word. You know, before we drafted him, you know, we set up there, Brad and I did, say, is there going to be an issue with your weight ever? No. He came in, he noticed that he was a little bit heavy in the spring, came in 2 weeks before our program even started, and was pretty heavy, and said, hey, man, I want to get this right. And he put in the work. Scott did a hell of a job with him, nutritionist, all that, got him right. And then he's just put the work in. He's put the work in. And I'll tell you what, man, he's a man of his word. Came in, 325, made his weight, crushed the conditioning test, and like I told him, told the team. And so now he's put some money in the bank of trust. It's awesome, and respect. So really fired up, man. That's a credit to him.
That's what we want him at, is right around that 325 range.
Yeah. You know, we kept close tabs on him. I mean, look, we do that with every player, but I'm with you. You come off a back, you want to make sure that you're doing everything right by him, and he's doing everything right. Sometimes you got to protect the player from himself. You know, he'd be one of those guys too. But yeah, we have, and so even yesterday, man, just watching him finally really go full. I know we're not in pads, but this is full speed compared to what we were doing in the spring. And so now he's ready to go, and you know, we just gave him a few reps. He'll get a couple more today, a little bit more. We'll back him back down tomorrow, but yeah, it's pretty exciting. He feels pretty good, and so man, it'll be great to get him back. He's a big piece. He's a big piece for our offense. He's a weapon. Probably the most. I want to know that we can run the football. I want to know we can stop the run. And I want to know that we're ready for situational football. Probably those three things. If you want me to feel comfortable, the other stuff will come. You know, man, we're a little off on red zone, third down. You know, those are always a work in progress, game plan specific. But, man, you better be able to run the football, stop the run, in situational football, end of half, end of game, that you feel comfortable and that you can function at a high level. So those, which is why we'll do a bunch of that, especially when we get in pads.
Boy, did we get away from situational football last year.
A lot.
Lockstep,
Yep.
me and the coach.
Yep.
Yeah.
We
Pushing the lines. We did.
We totally got away from
But the best part, Sean, is this, like, self-aware. Now it's, yes, we have to show to do something, the actions, but the self-awareness, right? Too many times we're talking about, you know, everything's all right. Takes me back to Derek Lalonde. Oh, we're good here. We're good here.
Yeah, right.
House is burning down behind him. But no, I like this. This is sort of what you'd expect. What year is this for Dan Campbell? 6?
Gosh, 21.
So 5?
21.
5. But the maturity each year.
Yeah.
And how he's approaching and not only just styles of training camp, how they're going to go about it, but the evolution. And he knows and they know, and now we got to see.
It is, and I think what you just said goes hand in hand with Tyleek, okay? Props to him. I mean that. No sarcasm, no snark, okay? Props to him. He learned what he learned in the first year and said, I got to up my game.
Yeah.
I got to up my game, more importantly, physically than anything else. He got himself, trademark Miguel Cabrera, best shape of his life. He's ready to come into camp. That's fine and dandy. But now we have to see it translate on the field.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it again. I don't think he was as bad as people made him out to be last year, okay?
You're right.
I understand the desire for him to be more impactful. And I totally agree with you in year 2.
Yeah.
If you and I went back and forth, or KG and I went back and forth with you during last season, I'm wiping the slate clean. And I'll tell you why. Now it's not, well, there's this. No. You have to be impactful. Like it or not, you're a first-round pick. There are expectations on you. You have to be impactful. Not just stuff that shows up on film, okay? You have to be impactful. And hey, listen, shout out to Maz here. Maz, day one, said, I'm worried about the back. I'm worried about the back with Sam Laporta. And you know as well as I do, it sounds great now, all right? But the reality is in week 1, there's going to be some dick like me who's going to test that back. I am going to throw an elbow into your back.
Yep.
That's the way life is in the NFL. Hey, Mac, Mac, how's that calf feeling? Oh, it's been a little sore. Well, let's see what the blade of my stick does to your calf. Right? I mean, that's just the reality. That's how the game is played. So it's all fine and dandy, all three of those variables. And again, I'm not poo-pooing it. But, Mac, you hit the nail on top of the head. Now it's applying it. Now it's making it happen on the field.
100%. 100%. That's what all this test is for all these guys. They all have to step up, right? You got changes on the offensive line, right? Most notably, one that we're all confident in because nobody brings it up is Penei Sewell going from right tackle to left tackle. But, then you got the young kids coming up. But it's time. Right, it's time. This is where this is where Neil said their window is open for, 3 years and stuff like this. This year sets them up, and I like it going in because of the schedule. Right. Even though there's some messed up travel stuff, but the schedule sets them up for success. But guys got to go out and do it. And we're at the point where don't tell me, show me. We know you're good, right? You're a good team. We know you're gonna, but be a great team.
I have a question. We were all talking about this during the break. And, JB, if you could put up like a cheesy chat poll, I'm really intrigued to see where people are, okay? And I like, when you do these chat polls, I like to be as simple as possible, all right? A lot of times it's simply Y or N, okay? Hey. This one kind of falls in, do you still believe in Brad Holmes? Can you do some variation of that? Yeah. Do you believe that Brad Holmes is the guy that can bring the elusive Super Bowl to the Detroit Lions? Because we're a few years in now, and some of those doubts start to creep in, and some of these big contracts start to creep in, and we can't go collect guys like we felt we could even a couple years ago. And I'm not saying this has gone down this road, but we had a conversation about this room. To use a wrestling analogy for the three guys that I'm working with, and by the way, check out Mac's stuff tonight, right?
Yes,
tonight?
Yep. Thursday night, 7 p.m. Yeah. Hey, and you can even watch the stream or come down and see KG on the color commentary. KG in those glasses, baby.
All right, so I'm going to use terms that you guys will understand.
Book of KG.
Ken Holland was one of the biggest faces in this town. He was. He was a face.
Face is a good guy.
Face is a good guy, okay?
He's a bad guy.
And then, like, from here to here, he became one of the biggest heels in this town.
Yeah.
Like, and I made the joke, somebody that I worked with at the radio station back in the day, when we would have Ken Holland on, he would not call him Ken. He called him Mr. Holland. And that's just not to Ken, okay? That's to me.
Yeah.
He was like, man, it is so cool. Like, I get to talk to Mr. Holland, and Mr. Holland says, hey, bro, how's your day going? And I go, you can call him Ken. He goes, I can't call him Ken. No way. I can't call him Ken. And I told him, Mac, along those lines, I still call Mr. Carmanis. Yeah. Until the day he tells me, stop it. We've known each other for 25. You can call me Pete, okay? Right. No, I'm going to call Mr. Carmanis until he tells me not to call him Mr. Carmanis. Right. So that's the way that it goes.
Well, it's reverence.
But, yeah, exactly. Respect, reverence. And he literally
signed my paycheck.
Yeah, the guy, and that. I can't say that, though. Mr. Carmanis did sign my paycheck, though. Yeah. But with that being said, Darren, it all came collapsing down. I'm not insinuating in any way, shape, or form that Brad is there or Brad is heading there. But I do think that there are more guys out there, like Detroit DC, that are saying, guys, I don't think this is going to happen. I really don't think this is going to happen. So, KG or JB, if you can put that up, I'd be intrigued to see where people are at. And I'm going to go on the round. KG, let me start with you.
Yeah.
Where are you at with Brad? If you had to put a percentage on your level of confidence in Brad, and you know what I mean by that, Super Bowl or bust.
Yes.
Where are you at right now?
I would say today I am at about today. I think I'm at about 80%.
Okay.
And of course, the first 3 years of the regime, excluding 2021, because we know they were trying to actually build what the hell we see today. 2022 they start off 1-6. They end up finishing like 8-2 down the stretch. Amazing run. You could have gotten the playoffs, but some things didn't fall your way. But okay, the standard has been set. 2023. We thought that the team would be better than they were, but nobody imagine them, making an NFC Championship game and being one half away from winning that. And 2024 was amazing until it wasn't. Franchise record in wins, 15. You were arguably the best team in the whole league, let alone the NFC. And you went into the playoffs as a number 1 seed, something I never thought I'd see as a Lions fan. Although the result ain't what we wanted, you got embarrassed by Washington. The second half of the regime has not been good to this point, because last year making the playoffs, I felt like missing the playoffs, that was worst case scenario. And I think it's okay to have doubts about Brad Holmes and the direction that the regime is going at this point. Do I still think they're a competent organization? Yes. Do I think they're a good team, to D-Mac's point? Yes. Can you be an elite team again? Can you get past that hump? Can you actually make a Super Bowl? And just with some of the roster moves and the personnel moves made, I don't believe that to be the case this year, because I think your defense is still just lacking. Yes, you've had things kind of, be out of your control with the Terry and Arnold situation and things of that nature, but I feel like you could have put more resources into this defense if you were really trying to go after it this year. So I don't see this year as a Super Bowl caliber year, although I do still have faith in the regime going forward. But the longer this goes on, the more percentages come off. So I'm at about an 80 right now. It could be lower depending on how this season goes.
Mac, how would you quantify it?
It's like a boxing match. How many rounds you want? 10 rounds. You're in. You took a beating but stayed in early, right? Like and came back and showed resilience right now. And now you're in the middle rounds, right? And you've taken some punches. You might even took a knee last year, missing the playoffs. To whatever, but you're still in the fight. Yeah. And you realize that, and you realize maybe it was a slip, or maybe he didn't get you as good as you want. You messed up, not him getting you. You got yourself. So now it's what am I going to do coming out of that and showing the stability. To me, they need the consistency and I think last year, just obviously the injuries that everybody's gonna fall to, but where they suffered them, they couldn't afford it. And I mean, one guy in Sam Laporta, right? So they had to learn now, because the tight end position is such a huge part of this team and will continue to be, I believe, right? But you have your guys healthy. You have two, and I love the combination of Laporta and Brock Wright. Brock Wright's a great backup number 2 guy that we've seen that can, when you call his number, can make blocks or make plays. But you're in this fight to know what you have. You also know, right, like you said, this group, right, is more, especially offensively, right, the establishment of who these guys are. Defensively, not so much, right, maybe a couple back there, but offensively in your identity, right? So I think it's what Dan said, what I agree with, is we got to get back to running the football, stopping the run, and that's where it starts. But it's like you're in a fight, and you're in a fight, and now you're in those middle rounds that you just lost, right? You lost a round or whatever like that, and it's like I got to take this, get down to business even more so.
I love that analogy. And you know what? I'll piggyback on what KG said as well. I look at 2024. I do not like excuses. I don't, all right? Like, Mac, I can't, when I'm working with you, I apologize. I can't help but think of an analogy with you. You can give me the why 1,000 times why you guys lost to San Jose in the first round in 94. Mm-hmm. That should never fucking happen. It shouldn't happen. There are 1,000 whys, but I think everybody on that team after the game would look you straight in the eye and go, after the year we had, the step that we took, we should not lose that series, okay? And that was part of the building up. 2024 is literally the poster child of extenuating circumstances, okay? And I don't like to... I'll never forget, we were in here one day, it was like December that year, and we were doing a show on Friday, and they put up like the bar graph of everybody else's injuries were like here. Mac is, oh, look, New Orleans has this many, Dallas has this many, Philly has this many, and Detroit was up here. And at that point in time, I said, oh, you can't win with that. And like literally we had that segment, and if you guys remember, I got shit on that day. I literally got shit on, and we made the little reel, and it went viral, and people hater, and it has nothing to do with it. When you have this many injuries and the rest of the league has that many injuries, okay, those are extenuating circumstances. And that played a huge part, as we all know, as to why they didn't do anything in 2024. To a lesser extent last year, I agree with you, Mac. But now, here we are, July 30th, we sit back and okay, no excuses. All right, you guys know, Tyleek, you know your why. You know your why. You addressed your why. Okay, Sam, you know your why. Things are looking good. Dan Campbell, he knows his why. We got to get back to what we've done. Okay, now it's the implementation, and that's where we are with this football team. Now, if all three of those boxes are checked, does that mean that everything comes to fruition? No, because you still have the less than secondary, and a secondary that's going to have to prove itself as this season goes on. Because if you're going to tell me on July 29th, hey, guys, we kind of like what we have in the defensive backfield. Yeah, obviously we want Kirby, we want Brian, but we kind of like what we want. You can't use that as an excuse 3 months later. All right, because now's the time to do something about it. If you like what you got, then you have to move forward with it. But just don't use it as an excuse 3 years later. You know what I'm saying? Big Back Riley just came in. I'm going to ask you the same question. Sorry to put you on the spot,
Sure,
pal.
let's do it.
Where are you at with Brad Holmes? I posed a question. I did a chat poll.
Okay.
Why or end do you believe that Brad Holmes is the guy that can deliver, finally, the Super Bowl to the Detroit Lions?
I feel like I'm right around that. Let's go 60 to 65%.
I'm in that area. I am.
60 to 65.
I was going to say 70.
That's a little overzealous for me personally.
I think with the chat, when I looked at it, the votes, 73%.
Yeah.
That's probably right about right.
Right about that area.
He took us 15-2. We were like a half away from the Super Bowl 3 years ago. I mean, he's the only one in my lifetime that's got us anywhere close. I mean, yeah, 60 to 65%.
Do you know what I hate doing, though? And I'm sorry, I'm going to chastise you.
Okay, let's do it.
I hate comparing the Lions to the Lions.
That's fair.
I do. I hate it, okay? You know what we should be doing? We should be comparing, here, Mac, now a positive. We should not be comparing the Red Wings to the Red Wings because for 40 years they were a bad franchise.
The Dole Wings.
You know what you should do? You should compare the Detroit Red Wings to what Scotty Bowman has done at other places. If Scotty Bowman comes in, you know what I want? I almost swore. Mother Scratcher, I want Scotty Bowman things to happen for the Detroit Red Wings.
Sure.
And you know what? Scotty Bowman things happen for the Detroit Red Wings, multiple times and post Scotty. And so I think one thing that we do in this town, yeah, he's got 4. He just 5. One thing we do in this town, and I'm having fun with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But one thing that we do in this town, we compare the Lions to the Lions. Well, why would I want to do that? We're arguably the worst franchise in the National Football League in all our lives, okay? How about we start comparing the Lions to what the Packers are doing? How about we start comparing the Lions to what the Chiefs are doing or what the Eagles are doing? Teams that have had success. I don't want to compare. I don't want to sit back when this is all over and go, well, we didn't get our Super Bowl. But we probably had the best general manager we've ever had, and we probably had the best coach we've ever had. You know what I mean? Because the bar has been so low
it really has.
Our entire lifetime.
Yeah.
So that's just, maybe it's nitpicky, but that's just something that always, I'm glad to hear you say that.
It is a little nitpicky.
I don't want to compare the line. Here, let me give you an example. I had a back and forth 5 years ago with somebody here. We had a very heated conversation about this.
Okay.
People talking about the Jim Caldwell era, putting the Jim Caldwell era on a pedestal and going, well, I mean, it was arguably one of the best eras. And I was like,
it was a fun era. It was a fun era.
Yay! We went 9-7 and lost in the first round of the playoffs. Hooray! Yippee! I don't want that.
Yes. We want more.
Yes.
We want more.
And never apologize for wanting more.
Never.
So you're at 60, 65, huh?
60 to 65%.
Yeah, I would be at about 70. KG was about 80. I'd be about
80's
70.
a little too high, personally.
The last couple of years have taken a lot of shine off the star.
It has.
It has.
It has.
And I think, especially with the news of Giovanni Manu, and in case you missed it, he's going to be out the next 12 to 14 weeks. I look at the 2024 draft, and let me just remind everybody, Terrion Arnold, Ennis Rakestraw, Giovanni Manu, Sloan Vaki, Wingo, and Mahogany.
I love Vaki. I wish we actually played that guy. Put him at safety. He played a really good safety at Utah, and we have no safeties.
Yeah. All right, we got a break.
Know. Something to look for.
Yep.
We got a break. Any super chats we need to take care of before we take care of our business? You guys let me know. Where's the chat at, Mac? Where's the poll at?
We can look here. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
It's gone.
All right, so 109 votes. Do you still believe in Brad Holmes? 75% say why. 25% say in.
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
That's about right where you're at. And the revisionist is like, what have you done for me lately?
Yep.
That's
everything.
Everything, do whatever. And you mentioned it. I just I went and saw the Odyssey last night in IMAX. So
nice.
I'm going to use, it's like having that shield that's all shiny at the beginning of the battle.
Yeah.
He's got some tarnish on it, right? But he's still wearing his shield, right? So to speak. But it's just like, all right, now that's why this year's huge.
How good was it, by the way?
I compare it to it's like this. It's like Braveheart back in the day.
Oh,
It's
don't
like,
get me started.
No, but it's
my favorite movie.
That's up there for me
right.
too, man.
No, and I understand that, but the epicness of it and the way that it's done, and with the cameras and it was awesome. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen 4 movies in the movie theater in the past year. I've seen that twice. I've seen that one twice. I've seen it twice now. That's how good it is.
My kid is snobby movie guy. He really is. He is snobby movie guy. And Mac, he was speechless when he came home. I was like, how was it? And he was like, Dad, it's unbelievable.
And here's the problem.
Oh, yeah, Odyssey
to see
is
Sean
that.
Avery. Sean Avery is one of Odysseus's men.
No kidding.
Until the end.
Yeah.
He's on the dude. You see, and I
never knew that.
I saw him. He's the one that throws when they're on the island that eventually at the end when they take down the cat. They're not supposed to, anyways.
Yeah.
He throws like an apple or something at one of the animals or whatever, and it's such a so true because it's such an awful throw.
Yeah.
Right. But then watching it again, I see him like 5 or 6 other times, right? And so I'd reached out to him, and 5-month adventure and whatever like that. So good on him. So Sean Avery's in the movies, and he's in the biggest.
I got to bring it up.
one.
This might be a party for 2, but did you see Sean Avery in the movie that they made about Rocket Richard? Or do you know about that?
Yeah.
He gets
Who
his
did he
ass kicked
play?
by Rocket Richard. Is it Bob Dill, the guy that they called up? The Rangers basically called him up to get under Rocket Richard's skin, and he gave him a cheap shot. And it was so Sean Avery. He's chirping at him, calling him a frog, all that stuff. And Rocket Richard knocked him down. And so, he kind of gets up, and everybody gets quiet. And Avery gets up, and he goes, "Look, he punched Frog. Come on, let's see what you got." And then Rocket Richard knocked him down again. And it's so Sean Avery. It's like, I wanted to... Dude.
Great typecast.
Yeah, just outstanding. Yeah, so Avery's been in a couple of flicks. Where do you want to go, KG?
Let's do Buddies and Icon.
All right, Buddies, you know what I'm going to say, right? Well, as soon as we get the picture up. I mean, look
there
at
it is. Come on.
That sells itself. There it is.
So delicious.
All I have is words, right? What do words mean when you have that up on your screen right now? They are celebrating 80 years of being the Detroit-style pizza. You hear it everywhere. You go... I told you guys a couple of years ago, my wife was in Thailand, and she took a picture of Detroit-style pizza outside of a restaurant, right? It's Buddies. That's who did it. Detroit-style pizza is Buddies, and you can add some Detroit style to your next shindig with Buddies Catering. The menu is packed with fan favorites. I mean, just look at that. That speaks enough for itself. You could save 20% on your next catering order of $200 or more. just by using promo code Woodward20. It's as simple as that. You're having a bunch of the boys over. You want to, you want to have a shindig when college football starts, even for an exhibition game, right? Having a bunch of people over, you can do that and take 20% off your order. Visit buddiespizza.com/catering to view their complete menu and place your order today.
And Icon Auto.
Icon, one of the newest members of what we do here at Woodward Sports, and you know the drill, okay? Support those who support us. Icon is supporting us, and you know what? They're going to do the job for you as well. If you've been in an accident or your vehicle needs repair, you can trust the team at Icon Auto Repair and Collision. 3 convenient locations in Metro Detroit: Madison Heights, Shelby Township, and Pontiac. They've got you covered. They'll go the extra mile as well. They offer free car loaners and even offer to pay your deductible. What are you waiting for? If you have an issue, check out my friends at Icon. IconAuto.com. It's the Icon you can count on.
It's game on at Art and Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
Finally, life-enhancing LASIK surgery at a price you can afford. Michigan's most experienced eye surgeon, Dr. Yaldo, is offering the most advanced LASIK at just $1,699 per eye, regardless of your prescription. Imagine not just being free from contacts and glasses, but actually seeing better without them. This limited 2026 spring offer is thousands less than others charge. Go to YaldoEyeCenter.com for your free evaluation and save.
Some days call for light, others lean bold. What about everything in between? All Day IPA, the easy choice for every day. Citrusy, crisp, refreshing. Flavor you can float with. Light on the hops, big on refreshment. 1's great. 2, even better. Brewed with you in mind. No shortcuts, no fuss. Big on flavor, never too much. All Day IPA. Hop into easy.
You're building a whole combat sports enterprise in the heart of it in Detroit, and that's what I think is the coolest.
I think with opportunity, right? Like you said, maybe you like to punch people in the face for real, and you know, you want to be a boxer, and you have an option there. Maybe you don't like getting punched in the face, and you want to make, you know, you like the theatricals and the storylines, and so you have an avenue here. Maybe you start at one and then want to change to the other. I don't care. I just want you in the building and know that you have some place to go to explore that. Just having the ability to, what do you want to do and how do you want to do it to the best of your ability? And, you know, it all starts with the kids.
Jameer Gibbs, breakout season, loading.
Inside the 5, Gibbs to the end zone, touchdown!
Woodward Sports, the most dominant Detroit sports coverage around.
Buying a home or refinancing is a big decision, and just like in sports, you need the right team behind you. That's why we're proud to welcome Supreme Lending to the Woodward Sports family. As a full-service provider, they boast a 99% close-on-time rate and 97% customer satisfaction score. But here's a game changer. When you apply for an eligible loan, mention Woodward Sports, and you will receive up to $500 off your appraisal. Score this deal, call the numbers on your screen, and talk to Chad and Chris at Supreme Lending today.
And Mad Packs.
Give me 1 second here.
No problem. Man, had a long night last night.
Yes, I did. Mad Packs. If you're a fan of Mad Packs, you already know they bring the heat. But this summer, they're shaking things up with some massive new drops. Get ready for the Boom Shakalaka 200 milligram hash rosin gummies and the High-Low 200 milligram live rosin. Alongside the brand new Mad Packs extracts, these are the perfect additions to your summer plans. Learn more at getmadpacks.com. Mad flavor, mad high, Mad Packs.
All right, welcome back in. We've got a lot going on with training camp. We were joking about this earlier during the show, all right? You guys, you could be the biggest Wing fan in the world. You could be the biggest Piston fan in the world. You could be the biggest Tiger fan in the world. The Detroit Lions are king in this town.
Yes, sir.
Period. End of story. We are this close to going into full football mode.
Yeah.
We really are.
I can't wait. To be
we
honest.
are this close to going into full football mode. I legitimately, I hope all the boys in here, Riley, Mac, KG, I mean, you guys have already been over before. Riley, you're certainly invited.
I can't wait.
August 22nd, we're having all the boys over to do like the watch party from my house again.
Let's go.
I'm grilling for everybody.
Yes.
I don't know how much grilling's going on. I got to be honest with you.
I'll bring something. I'll bring my oxtail.
Don't you bring anything. I don't want you to bring anything. All right. When you come over to my
I'll
house,
bring myself.
Sean takes care of you.
I liked it, but I'll have both smokers on full effect. I am going to get some special things that I will grill. One for you, KG, the firecracker sausage.
My dog.
I'll make sure I got that for you, but it is absolutely elite. But yeah, we're getting closer to that point, and I'm not gonna lie, I can't wait. It's like right there.
It's right
you know
there.
when you want to grab it?
Yeah.
It's there. You want to grab it. Like Mac, when you're joking about it, it's almost busy time and everything. It's right there, and as Tom Petty said, the waiting's the hardest part. It is. It's just we're in that holding period. Okay, even give me fake football. Give me the preseason. I'll take anything right now. I need it. I need to inject it right now.
Yeah, because you can see the table being set for dinner, and you can smell it coming out of the kitchen or whatever else, but it's not time to eat yet.
Yeah.
But it is real soon.
Mac, are you, and I always want to make sure I'm not are you hearing anything about what's going on with the Wings right now? Because it is.
As far as who they're going to hire for GM?
Anything. Like, because it's.
Crickets, bro.
Yeah, there was actually.
absolute crickets.
There was actually I want to say it was the Hockey News. I was reading it yesterday. There was actually an article about, okay, Red Wings, you have to do something. Like something in regards to Larkin, in regards to a general manager, in regards to direction. It's really weird, and especially when the outside guys are talking about it, because they don't have as close a look as we do. This has just been the strangest offseason ever. Have
you heard names other than in-house?
I've heard
like out of house.
I still think these are my words, not Darren McCarty's. I want to make that crystal clear, okay? Because McCarty's spilling secrets or anything. No.
I wish I would. They won't tell me because I tell you guys. I got to figure it out.
I was told by a couple people that ownership really, really likes Sean Horkoff.
Yeah, you told me that before.
And then there were a couple analytics guys, one with some background here, that they're going to have long conversations with. I think it's going to be in that direction. I think it's going to be.
You think it's in-house?
If I were a betting man, and I wouldn't place a lot on this, Mac, and I'm not a betting man, for the record. If I were a betting man, I think it's Sean Horkoff. I do. I've had enough people tell me that ownership is enamored by him, and he has more of a newer view of the league than maybe some of the old school guys do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no,
he's pouring more of the analytics into it than maybe some of the old school guys.
Yeah, no, and I know from is that what happened in Carolina or whatever with an analytic, like that's the new.
You got it.
What's the new flavor? What's the new sauce? What's the new left wing lock?
Yeah,
So if that's the case and they're looking at and you have that guy in here, then you're probably on the right page.
I know it's interesting because Patrick Kane, the contract he signed in Chicago, I still can't believe it.
Welcome home.
I still like what and now like I literally just read their speculation that Jonathan Toews, who just retired 2 months ago, like literally just retired 2 months ago, might come out of retirement for like one last ride with Patrick Kane.
Oh wow!
All right, and it's interesting because I don't know what to make of the Patrick Kane comments. Who was he on with? Chicklets? I don't remember who he was on with, but I saw the clip the other day, and people, well, I was planning to come to Detroit, and then things happened, and I decided not to come to Detroit. Okay, obviously we know where this franchise is right now. I mean, it's a mess. There's no other way to say that. However, if somebody offered me $8 million, and I know damn well nobody else is offering me $8 million a year, that might be an impetus for me to jump and take $8 million a year.
Yeah.
That might play more of a factor into it than I think Patrick Kane wanted to lead on. If everybody around the league is going, he really just got $8 million AAV, I really don't know how much of a factor what's going on in Detroit led to that decision. I can tell you definitively getting $8 million a year is a big factor, right? I mean, and good for him. I'm never going to begrudge a guy.
Right.
He got a contract that at this point in his career, Mac, he didn't deserve. But if somebody's willing to pay it, should he say no? Take that money. Are you kidding me? Good for him.
100%. It's an easy choice for him because he's going like where he started.
Yeah.
In full circle, so.
I'm really intrigued to see what happens because the closer we creep to August, and we're right on the cusp of it. Let me remind everybody, okay?
Yeah.
The season starts now when these guys were still hanging out in Traverse City, sneaking beers on the sand hills out there and everything.
Yeah.
That like the season starts this year in September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you come closer to the season and you still don't have that figured out. That's a debacle.
Yeah.
It legitimately
pretty bad.
it's a debacle.
Can I ask you a question real quick, Sean? Because of the re-signing of Alex DeBrincat, do you think it's a chance that Larkin stays?
No.
Still no.
I think it's both ways. I think the one thing that this franchise historically hasn't liked, and I go back to the Sergei situation, if they feel like they were disrespected, this family doesn't take too kindly to that.
Yeah.
They're big into loyalty, and I think with this bringing negative connotations, vibes, coverage into the Detroit Red Wings, I think that bridge was napalmed.
Damn.
I think it was napalmed. I don't, and conversely, I think from Dylan Larkin's standpoint, was Steve Yzerman part of his problem? Well, of course, he was the general manager. But I think the bigger part of the problem is I legitimately think he wanted to go compete and have a chance to at least have some playoff success.
Yeah.
And this team's a million miles away.
Yeah.
And I'm not being disrespectful. I'm shooting straight.
No,
they are not close to that. So, I mean, Mac, unless you've heard otherwise, I think both sides are at that point right now going, nah, it's best to do our business someplace else. And that sometimes it happens.
Yep.
Sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
It's just I know that this franchise doesn't look kindly to that. This was public. This is perceived as not being loyal, that type of thing. So I think that's and some of the stuff that I've heard and followed it kind of is along those lines. I think that is a bridge too far. I think that's a bridge too far. To your point, KG, I still adamantly feel if you're serious about taking this team in a different direction, you trade Alex DeBrincat.
Okay.
You trade Alex DeBrincat.
He's one of your few pieces that you can return value.
Yep.
You don't have a lot of that. You're in this spot, and you got guys nobody wants.
And I mean, it's nice that it's out there that he's committed to the Red Wings, and this is the team he grew up playing for or dreaming of, and that counts for something. And the guy to my left can talk about that.
Yeah.
And Farmington Hills and Tomato Town. I mean, you grow up in the shadow of that logo. Well, that's your dream, and part of that dream is I want to be there when we get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's nice that Alex is saying those things, but you also have to think about it as a business.
Yeah.
And if I'm management, I have, to what Mac just said, I have a golden ticket. I'm going to cash that golden ticket in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna help speed this process up. That I hope everybody packed a lunch. This isn't going to be fixed anytime soon. That's just where this franchise is at, right? I don't say that with glee or any. Gosh, I hope anybody doesn't misconstrue that. My life is infinitely more fun when the Red Wings are doing well, right? I get to talk about hockey,
Right.
Yeah.
and people want to talk about hockey,
Yeah, true.
right?
Yeah.
And so I've never hit it. That's my favorite thing. When the Red Wings aren't doing well, all anybody wants to do is hammer on them and then say, "Oh, screw them. Let's move on to something else."
Yeah.
So if it were me, it's nice, KG, to your point. It's nice that Alex says that. I want to be here. I'm here. I'll be here as long as they want me here. That's wonderful. Okay. What helps my team most?
Right.
Yeah.
That's the way that I'd look at it. Where's our chat poll at, by the way? Can I check back in with that?
It's a little bit of a development here. So we have 161 votes in. Do you still believe in Brad Holmes? Bradley. We have 70% that say why, 30% that say in. It has fallen. It's taking a dip.
If somebody said to me a year ago, I could go back July 30th. It was the day before. I have a weird memory like this. I remember dumb shit.
Okay.
The Lions Hall of Fame game was July 31st.
Yeah.
It also happened to be the day of the trade deadline, okay? And we lost our minds in here, and Spenny and I were talking about it. There were people in the chat and people that hit me up on Twitter that loved what Scott Harris did last trade deadline. We were dumb, go down the checklist.
I even defended it when it first happened.
If somebody said to me a year ago, I don't believe that Brad Holmes will ever get it done, I would have laughed at them. KG, do you agree?
Yeah.
I would have laughed at them. If somebody said that to me today, I'm not laughing.
No.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Do I disagree with you? Yes, I do. I still do. And if you want to say that's the fan in me, that's the 8-year-old child that wants to flip the finger off to his dad and grandfather and say, see, I told you, if you want to go down that, I can't say that you're wrong. Maybe that's my inner desire, so to speak. But even a year ago, Mac, if somebody said to me, you guys are nuts, Brad Holmes is not winning a title in this town. Stop it. You're trying too hard. If somebody said that to me today with the information that we've had in the last year, I'll respectfully say to you, I still disagree, but I'm not laughing at you anymore.
No, can't.
I'm not.
No, it's the old, hey, you got a tail. It's like, shut up. And they tell you again, you got a tail. You can go, shut up, but you're like,
wait,
what?
do I?
And then the third time you got to look, right?
Yeah.
We're in the twos.
Yeah. We'll see. I can't believe we're having these conversations. But at the same time, KG, and I think we're all going to find this out with the Kansas City Chiefs, mark my words, you can take a step back. You can even take it 2 steps back, and then you can jump right back up. And we've seen Kansas City do it before, and I think we're on the cusp of seeing them do it again. I saw people say they were a playoff team this year. I don't think they're a playoff team this year.
The Chiefs?
The rest of the league better look out next year.
Yeah, no, they're going to be a juggernaut next year. But in terms of this year, I mean, you got Patrick Mahomes back early.
Bam.
So anything's, as long as you got 15, anything's possible.
They're
for that
winning
team.
the AFC West this year.
I can see it. I can see it.
That's why we use terms like windows. And while the window isn't closed, as Mac brought it up earlier, the window isn't closed. You know what? The window came down a little bit.
It's shut a little
The window was wide open a couple of years ago.
It
wide
was, yeah.
flipping open, okay?
You almost put your foot in the window and it got shut on you.
Right.
So
And what happens is, part of the reason that window starts to come down is because we've got this much money invested in that player, we've got that much money invested in that player, we've got that much money, and the window starts to come down a little bit because now you have to hit on those draft picks.
Yeah.
You have to hit, we got that guy off the scrap heap, okay? We got Riley off the scrap heap, okay? Nobody really thought it. We bring Riley in here, guy's a stud.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you have to hit on things like that now, all right? That is imperative because what we found out is the core alone isn't going to be able to do that. It's what you bring to accentuate that core.
And then you look at to your nearest competitor in the Los Angeles Rams, and they have found a way to do both. Like you can build through the draft, which they have primarily done, but you can also go out there and add pieces and attack weaknesses in such a way that can put you over the top. And we just haven't seen that with Brad. We know about the deficiencies on defense. Has he addressed some of those? Yeah, sure. But has he, put as many resources into fixing those problems? Not necessarily. But when you see the Rams, who lost in the NFC Championship last year, fix every single problem that they had in that game, like the secondary, we got a good defensive line, but we're going to get Myles Garrett anyway. Like the fact that you have other GMs that can do that while still drafting well, it kind of puts the pressure on Brad Holmes. Like, okay, we get that you want to draft and develop. We get that that's your primary source of player acquisition, which isn't a problem. But there will come some points where you might have to make a spur of the moment decision that could affect you in, the long term. But if it gets you the short-term game that we all want, which is playoff success in Super Bowl, aspirations, then you do it. And I don't know if he's willing to pull the trigger on that. And that's the biggest deal.
And KG, I think I can speak for you. We're both Brad Holmes guys, okay? I think everybody in this room is a Brad Holmes guy in one way or another.
He's done enough Brad Holmes guys.
All right. But both things can be true. I can say I'm a Brad Holmes guy and say I wish he had some more Snead in him.
Yeah, he's not.
And I wish he had some more Howie in him. Because if I'm an Eagles fan, all right, it might not work. What Howie decides to do might not work. But I don't worry as much as I do as a Lion. Exactly.
Right.
There it is, man.
You're taking swings, man.
Mac. That's it. Swing. I'm not as worried as an Eagle fan as I am as a Lion fan. My question isn't, boy, is Brad going to do something? Which we all have to say that here, right?
Yep.
In Philly, I know he's going to do something.
Yeah.
It might not work. It might not. But I know he's going to do something.
Yeah.
He has shown, his track record has shown, what do I need to do? Okay, I'm gonna go do something nobody saw coming and things like that. Again, there's not 100%. Oh, it doesn't work every time. No. But I know we're left here, Mac, while he's doing this, as Mac was doing on the screen. We're left going here, going, boy, I hope Brad does something.
Yeah,
I hope he does.
He's not willing to sacrifice his philosophy, and in some ways, it could be holding the team back.
Les and Howie are like the ones at the pool where they don't even test the water. They just jump in.
Yeah.
Brad's like testing it. Yeah, I'm going to get in.
You're right, putting his toe in.
Put your toe in.
You're right. It's also a little cold.
Do you know who else they're like? The Red Wings.
Yeah.
The Red Wings win back-to-back Stanley Cups. And you see these other teams coming up. Ooh, Colorado looks dangerous again. Oh, the Devils are back. Man, the Sabres. Who wants to play that Hasek guy? Oh, that's cool. We won back-to-back cups. We're not satisfied with that. Let's go get Wendell Clark, Chris Chelios. Right? I mean, that's respect. And it might not work. It didn't work for the Wings that year. I'll say it for the umpteenth time. I think those guys ran out of gas from playing so much hockey the last 4 years. But you had a general manager that was going to say, what do we need to do? What do we need to do? Hey, you know what? 4 years later. Damn things are. Well, let's go get Luke Robitaille.
Yeah.
Hey, who's the best goalie in the league? Let's go get Dominik Hasek.
Right.
That was the one thing you knew the Detroit Red Wings were going to do something. And we don't know that about the Detroit Lions. We don't. That's just reality.
We do not.
All right, Mac, before we get out of here, you got the event tonight?
I got the wrestling show down. Come and see KG be a color commentating star.
Yeah, buddy.
Nine-time wrestling
Appreciate
at the Brewster Wheeler downtown. And Sunday, this weekend at the Masonic Temple is the Detroit version of the Hot Sauce Fest. I'll be there signing autographs Sunday.
Hot Sauce
come on
Fest.
down, Hot Sauce Fest.
Huh.
Yeah.
Are you going to try it?
Go on.
I will.
Will you?
I'll dibble dabble into a couple of them.
Remember back, like for me, you get to a certain age where it's like, okay, heat and flavor don't commingle more often than not. I need more flavor. I couldn't do it anymore.
Well, yeah, because your boiler's ruined.
Ain't no doubt about that.
Always a pleasure, boys.
Yeah, Mac, appreciate you.
Real quick, let's do this last super chat because Zach's so going to kill me if I don't. He is on my ass. But we got a super chat from him, $10. Thinking about that last NFC championship game makes me want to cry because I turned and said to my mom, if the Lions win this game, they'll be in the Super Bowl. She said to me, oh, my God, I can't believe it. And
we had that conversation off the air yesterday.
Yeah,
the further that gets in my rearview mirror, the more I hate it. That has become like the most devastating loss because it's like the 2006 Tigers, Mac. Oh, we'll be back. Well, don't worry, we'll be back, right? And then time goes on, and I look back and go, how did like our entire pitching staff forget how to field the baseball?
Yeah, just
that was the worst.
How did that happen?
That's what cost us.
And so that's where I'm at with the 2023 Lions. I wasn't that mad at the time. I was sad. Now as time goes on, KG, I get pissed.
No, you absolutely do. And I was just saying we got a couple live reads we need to do before we get out.
Okay, what else we got?
No commercial. We'll just do the live reads. We'll start with Gold Crown and then Massage Chair. But Gold Crown, y'all know what it is by now. Smoke like royalty, and Gold Crown is coming with the Royal Jesters. I'm talking 1.5 grams each, and they are quad infused, which means Keef coated, live resin infused, THCA diamond, CMAC, and terpenes all packed into one big beautiful joint. 4 layers of you gonna be feeling good after this football season. Hopefully they'll sneak and get something done, but we shall see. Michigan made, top tier, no shortcuts. Next time you at the dispo, don't think just ask for the Royal Jesters, because if you're gonna smoke, you should smoke like royalty, and you should also relax in a beautiful massage chair.
Absolutely. Yes, after you grab your gold crown, you better be getting one of these massage chairs. Looking to take your relaxation to the next level? Then you got to check out Massage Chair in Bloomfield Hills, the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest. They carry top brands like Infinity and Osaki, making it a go-to destination for premium comfort and cutting-edge wellness technology. Be sure to visit Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, creator of the #1 YouTube channel for massage chair reviews at The Wellness Doc. Book your visit today at massagechairhouse.com or simply scan the QR code on the screen. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
All right, appreciate you all. Maz will be in tomorrow, so Maz and I will be in tomorrow. Hey, great to be back.
Yeah.
Riley, thank you. JB, thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
KG, thank you. Always a pleasure, Mac. Keep it dialed in all day. You know we got you covered. We got the guys from Crunch Time coming up next. Then, of course, Bray, the heavyweights. In the meantime, peace. Talk to you tomorrow morning.
19 Ks. That's not going to get it done usually. 19 Ks for what? For you guys. Tonight? Yeah.